This is an attempt to share all the things that you would not be able to get with a quick Google search. South Africa has been working on transformation and reshaping itself since 1994. Currently, we are lost in that transformation. We are lost in reshaping, and we don't always know the link between the macro and the micro. For example, national government can create policies and then not mandate local government to do them. So that means they don't get budgeted for and they don't get implemented. The market, the creative and cultural industries economy is a mixed economy. What that means is some spaces depend on government funding and subsidies, while others depend purely on the markets. We have 4 types of providers. The government, one that is the government institutions. These are the institutions that we inherited from the apartheid government. They often cost a lot of money to maintain, and where artistic directors try to reallocate funding so that it reaches the previously disadvantaged groups, you find that they may lose their white audiences who may prefer to watch ballet or to see a Shakespeare. Then you have the independent theater spaces, which mostly depend on their markets. And the great disadvantage here is that the majority of South Africans were historically excluded from accessing the arts on the basis of race. So what does it mean to ask them to invest or to buy tickets for something that they don't understand yet? And in situations where they do understand it, they are excluded on the basis of class, because it still costs a lot of money to move from where they stay to the city centers where most of these independent theater spaces are. You also have, we have a lot of nonprofit organizations and non-government organizations, and they are mostly training institutions, trying to teach the arts. We also have freelancers navigating between the spaces as employees, as learners, as beneficiaries, as service providers. This brings me to 2020, 2021. We saw an emergence and formation of industry groups such as the Theatre and Dance Alliance, the Theatre and Dance Employers Association of South Africa, Stand Foundation, I Am for the Arts, Abahlali Base NAC. And Abahlali Base NAC, was formed after a group of artists occupied the NAC offices, which is the National Arts Council offices, demanding to know what happened to the relief funds that the president had allocated for the arts sector. And so I also want to mention that these are not the only alliances or group formations that were formed in 2020-21, but they are the ones that happened in city centers and the ones that were most visible. This brings me to the last point, where I recently realized that organizing in South Africa, and putting pressure on the government is not something new. It has been happening since 1994. Most of the challenges that we are talking about and engaging with are things that are not new for many people. And I wonder what it means, to have conversations about, old challenges presenting themselves as new challenges with new advocates at this particular moment.